Greetings, Galactic Jedis. How is everyone doing out there? Welcome to my Saturday Night Live with me, your host, Ishmael Perez. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. This is one of the best highlights of my day. So, 3 times a week is when I go live and I get to chat with the most awakened people on the planet. And I am so grateful for each and every single one of you, not only for those that are going to be watching it live, but also those that watch it on the replay. Now, I do have some intel regarding something that was supposed to happen today, something that the cabal was going to do in order to offset the inauguration. As you guys know, the inauguration is coming up in 2 days. And so they were planning on detonating a nuclear bomb in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm sorry, about uh, 3 miles from the East Coast, in order to create a massive tsunami that would have engulfed everywhere from Maine all the way to about northern Florida, about half of Florida. So the entire East Coast was supposed to go underwater as of today. But thank God for the intervention of the Galactics. Commander Valiant Thor informed me that they completely thwarted that plan, altered the timeline. The East Coast is fully intact. Nothing happened, but that was scheduled to happen today. That was supposed to be something that was going to make 9/11 look like candy. So yeah, that would have been devastated for everyone that lived out on the East Coast, from Maine all the way to about a good portion of Florida was going to be underwater today. But again, it didn't happen because of the intervention of the Galactic Alliance. This intel actually came to me about 2 days ago when I was up in the mountains, and through my meditation, I was getting transmissions from Valiant Thor, and he was telling me that the Cabal had planned this as a last ditch to execute the what is called the deep state martial law, which was going to give Biden full executive control of Congress and government. And of course, that means he would have stayed in power. Who knows for how long? I mean, that would have been devastating. We're talking about millions upon millions of casualties. Yes, people would have, been underwater today if the Galactic Alliance did not intervene. Now, something I do want to make clear here is that the Galactic Alliance has already made it official that the inauguration in 2 days, can't wait to go live Monday night, but the inauguration in 2 days is scheduled as planned. Okay. There is, after today, this was supposed to be the last huge, disastrous, huge, catastrophe that was supposed to happen. After today, there is nothing else that the cabal has planned. This was supposed to be major. This was supposed to be huge, guys. All right, causing millions and millions of casualties, going underwater. But the Galactic Alliance was able to neutralize the detonation before it exploded. In fact, what they did is they used a teleportation device to teleport the nuclear device, the nuclear, we could say weapon rather, that was in the Atlantic Ocean. I kept saying Pacific Ocean because I'm out here on the West Coast, in the Atlantic Ocean. And through a teleportation technology, they were able to teleport the bomb into outer space, and then, of course, neutralize the bomb. Okay, so the bomb was neutralized in outer space. And so nothing happened. Okay, the East Coast is fully intact, as you guys know. We didn't hear it on the news, right? There was no, emergency executive, whatever you want to call it, martial law. That's it. The deep state is done. This was their last ditch. This was their last ditch. Now, I normally don't start my live with reporting, intel and what's happening. Normally, I like to introduce myself. So, for all of you that are new to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. And I am the author of those amazing books back there, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, and of course, our Cosmic Origin, both of which are available on Amazon. Also, as a reminder, Galactic Jedis, I am going to be delivering a powerful presentation at the Conscious Live Expo in just a matter of 3 weeks. All right, it's going to be 3 weeks from tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday. So I believe it's on the 9th or the 8th. Let's check my schedule here. Oh, I didn't even say the date. Today is the 18th of January, 2055. No, I'm just kidding. 2025, right? Half the time, I don't even know what day it is, what year it is. As you guys know, I'm no longer in the 3D. Thank you for all the love. I see all the hearts going. But yes, today is Saturday the 18th, and we are now in 2025, right? And we're still on a trajectory of a positive timeline, right? Still coexisting with the negative timeline. But know that sometime this year, those two realities are going to split very, very soon, sometime this year. So for what was I saying? Yes, at the Conscious Life Expo, which is on the 8th, on the 8th of February, I'm going to be delivering on a Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. A very powerful presentation titled Transmuting the AI Transhumanist Timeline and co-creating the new earth while breaking down the cosmic structure. So it's going to be very, very, deep. I'm going to be going really deep into all kinds of information during that presentation. And so, yeah, I can't wait to do that. I'm excited about that. Not to mention, I'm also going to be on the panel on Saturday that starts at 2:30. And that panel is called Alien Races and Galactic Federation. And yes, I'm going to set the record straight regarding the Galactic Federation and its reorganization to the Galactic Alliance. And then I'm also going to be on Sunday, I'm going to be on the Planetary Ascension panel. So, with that in mind, I also want to remind you guys that my February classes are already up. For those that have not taken any of my courses, I do have Ascension Basics, Ascension 2.0, which is a killer class. My students are loving Ascension 2.0. It's really deep, right? It's mind bending, but it's what you guys need to know. And then, of course, our Cosmic Origin, and they're all available through my website, our cosmicorigin.com. Okay, going back to the intel. So 2 days ago, as I was meditating in the mountains, I received a transmission again regarding a final scare event that again failed. It was supposed to take place today. For those that are just jumping on, this event had a lot to do with detonating a nuclear explosive in the Atlantic Ocean, 3 miles from the Atlantic, from the East Coast, causing a major tsunami that was supposed to engulf about, the way they told me is it was supposed to engulf about three-quarters of a mile inland. So everything from 3/4 of a mile, that meant New York City, Seattle, everywhere from, I think, even a good portion of Georgia, everything from Maine all the way to about half of Florida, 3/4 of a mile inward or inland. All of that was supposed to go into the ocean today. Okay. It didn't happen, guys. Apparently, it didn't happen, right? It wasn't all over the news, because the Galactic Alliance completely thwarted that and neutralized the situation. For those that need to know the resemblance between the angels in the Bible, okay, and the galactics, the positive races, the allies of humanity, they're all one and the same, okay? The extraterrestrials, the positive extraterrestrials, have always been here, first and foremost. They have always been here. We witnessed this in the famous Da Vinci Code painting with the Mona Lisa and the craft behind her in the sky. We also see this in the paintings of the Madonna and the Child, Jesus, holding Jesus the Christ. We see a craft in the sky. We also read about this in many of the books, right? A lot of the Old Testament prophets were actually working with positive ETs, okay? Therefore, the angels of the Bible are the Pleiadians, are the Venusians, are the Andromedans, are the Lyrans, the Arcturians, and so on and so forth. And in like manner, the demons in the Bible, or what we call the fallen angels, are the reptilians. Okay, so there you guys go. Right, same phenomena, different terminologies. Right, different terminologies. So, one thing to understand, guys, is that when the new administration comes into power in exactly 2 days, You guys realize that all hell is going to break loose, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Okay, I'm talking about the exposure of everything that's been going on, all the corruption. It's already in the works. Okay, not to mention the sleeper cells. All right, something that the Earth Alliance is doing with the help of the Galactics is they're actually identifying the sleeper cells, and they have been for the last week or two because the sleeper cells were also programmed through MK Ultra to wreak havoc across the states in all major cities, which again was going to give the deep state a reason to implement the executive, their full executive order, martial law, right, where the executive branch of government takes over absolutely, right, like a totalitarianism. But luckily, what ended up happening was the Galactics and the Earth Alliance, with their advanced technologies, were actually able to identify who these MK Ultra sleeper cells were. And the reason we call them sleeper cells is because they have no clue that they are under a program. They have no clue that with certain trigger words, that causes them to do things that they don't even remember afterwards. Okay, they don't even remember, and we have witnessed this throughout history, right? The Oklahoma City bombing, Waco, Texas, all of this stuff. Every sniper. They were all sleeper cells. They were all under MK Ultra. And then when you hear their testimony in court, they always say, "I don't know what I did," right? Um, you know, uh, the shooters, right? The Columbine incident, the Las Vegas incident, right? They were all sleeper cells. Okay, so they don't know what they do. Okay, it's almost like they're under hypnosis when they are committing the act of violence, and then when they snap out of their hypnosis, they have no clue. Okay, they have no clue of what they did. So that's how it works. That's how MK Ultra works. Okay, um, so the good news is that we don't have to worry about the sleeper cells anymore, guys. The sleeper cells have been neutralized. And what I mean by that is not that they've been taken out physically, but they've employed some sort of advanced technology that was given to the Earth Alliance by the Galactic Alliance that literally undid let's just say, counteracted or nullified, that's the word, nullified the MK Ultra. So therefore, they would no longer be triggered by certain keywords that would make them go into a hypnotic state, right? Where they alter, right? They have this mind alter, and all of a sudden they go into this alter without memory that they shifted into this alter in order to commit the crime. So all of that was undone. Okay, the technology that the Earth Alliance is working with is by far more superior than the technology that the Cabal has been given. Okay, that's just the truth of the matter. So everything failed. Sleeper cells have been dealt with. All right, their MK Ultra was nullified. The massive false flag that was going to make 9/11 look like candy, that was supposed to sunk all of the East Coast, causing millions of casualties. I'm talking about millions of lives. That was prevented. So there is nothing else. There is nothing else. Okay. We are now going to be witnessing the beginning stages of a golden age. All right. And it's all going to begin in 2 days. All right. The Earth Alliance already has their front people like President T and the generals, including Putin, is all in on this, even though through the media it seems like there is no intimate connection between Mr. T and Mr. P. But you have to understand that from behind the scenes, they are actually collaborating together. They are working together from behind the scenes. Okay, so in 2 days, we're going to start seeing a lot of drastic changes. Within a matter of weeks following the inauguration, we're definitely going to be seeing some bombs drop as far as information is concerned. Not to mention, Sylvester Stallone and Mel Gibson are going to be assisting in aiding the disclosure of the corruption that's been going on in Hollywood. All right. So the good people in Hollywood, which is very few, right? Mel Gibson is one of them. And Mel Gibson was already interviewed. I think he went on Joe Rogan. He did go on Joe Rogan. He was on Fox. And I think he just kind of, in a nonchalant way, you know, gave us a little disclosure. But what's going to be happening very, very soon is that the good people in Hollywood are going to be working with the alliance and the White Hats. Okay, they were already approached. They were already approached by the alliance. They have already been told that they're going to be receiving some sort of special protection. That as long as they tell the truth, nothing's going to be happening to them, and that's going to work in the mass arrest of all the corruption of all the people that were involved in the Hollyweird, situation. Okay, so a lot of good things are going to be happening, guys. Okay, um, there's going to be no more false flags. Okay, this was it. They had till the 20th. All right, they had till the 20th. Tomorrow's the 19th. Oh, and by the way, it is believed that tomorrow we're going to be entering Aquarius season, right? And according to ancient prophecies and according to the astrological alignments, the age of Aquarius is believed to be marked by what? By harmony, brotherhood, sisterhood, balance, the decentralization of power, and most importantly, peace. So we're definitely going to start seeing the beginning stages of a new era, okay? Of a new era. So this does not mean, however, that the AI technocratic timeline is going to go bye-bye, okay? It's still going to be coexisting with our timeline until the split takes place. And again, when the split happens, that's going to be a result of the solar flash. So until the solar flash, right now, we're going to be experiencing an increase in acceleration in AI technology, which is not a good thing. But at the same time, we're going to be experiencing massive disclosures, a lot of revelations, and not to mention, guys, not to mention, and this is something that Commander Corridor, who is the head of the Association of Worlds, for those that have taken my class, Our Cosmic Origin, you know what I'm talking about, the Association of Worlds, the United Federation of Planets. We're actually also going to be expecting massive sightings in the next few months as we lead towards solar maximum, which is supposed to be taking place sometime in the spring. Okay, so bear in mind that in this sometime between now and in April, we're going to be seeing, all right, all over the world, sightings from the Galactic Alliance. Okay, the extraterrestrials will no longer wait for government officials to disclose the truth. Okay, I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. Due to the Artemis and the Jupiter Accords that were signed in 2019, 18, and 20, there was a deadline. And then, of course, due to the plan that was initiated by Valiant Thor in 1956 with, of course, Eisenhower, there was a deadline. And the deadline is that by no later than 2026, the extraterrestrial presence on the Earth will be in full force. So that's only a year left, or less than a year now, because we're already in 2025. So between now and 2026, the Earth Alliance and the extraterrestrials are going to do everything in their power to make sure that by 2026, every person on this planet, including those that are programmed, including those that are asleep, will know the truth about the extraterrestrial presence and the benevolent ETs that have always existed here. They're going to know the truth about all the other advanced civilizations, right? We're considered the surface dwellers. Remember that, right? There's truth in all of these movies that we watch. People of the earth are going to know the truth that not only have we not been alone in the universe, but that there are many advanced civilizations that have coexisted with us in our oceans, under, in the inner earth, right? In the other continents, and much more. Okay, so everything's leading towards the Earth becoming part of a greater galactic community by sometime in 2026. So whatever happens between now and 2026, it's all going to lead to that. It's all going to lead to that. Okay, that is great news, guys. That is great news. As far as XRP and XLM, I did read the comments. Okay. Again, guys, the only reason I invited Mel Carmine on my channel was because for months people have been asking me to go in depth about XRP and XLM, right? Which is the only digital currency that's going to be standing when everything else falls, like crypto and the CBDC, okay? And the only reason being is because that's the only digital currency that's going to be backed up by precious metals and connected to the quantum financial system. So I did read some of the comments, and some of you were saying that that is not 5D, that is 3D, talking about any digital currency. Well, it's going to be different. Okay, first and foremost, you guys have to understand that in the new Earth, there's going to be different layers, different densities. Okay, the first density is going to be fourth D Earth, where most of the younger souls, right, the average Earth terrans are going to be going into. They can't, they have to ascend in increments. They can't go from 3D to 5D like that, okay? It just doesn't happen that way. So in the fourth D Earth, yes, we are going to be using XRP and XLM because that's the only thing that's going to be connected to the quantum financial system. And this does not mean that you guys have to start investing in that, all right? Because even if you don't invest in that, it doesn't matter. Once the QFS becomes fully integrated, right, with every single one of you, and it's going to be a conscious living system based on how much love you resonate and how good you are as a person. That's going to determine how much abundance you receive. So you don't have to invest in anything, it's going to happen naturally. However, for the average person who does not know about ascension, who does not know about metaphysics or spirituality, they're going to have to, go up in increments. So in their reality, in the fourth D, yes, they're going to be using XRP and XLM. But those that go into the 5D, guys, we're not going to be using any economy, right? We're going to be manifesting at the speed of light. We're going to be natural replicators, okay? And so, yeah, we're going to go beyond, money when it comes to going into the fifth dimensional reality. And we don't have to invest in anything. You don't even have to buy gold, okay? Because once the quantum financial system is in full effect, and from what I hear, is that it's already coming into effect in many parts of the world, especially in those countries that are part of the alliance, right? Over 120 countries. Once it kicks in fully, once the fiat system is down, completely obliterated, right? We have this economic crash. And yes, it's going to happen in Mr. T's time because the white hats are going to collapse it, right? Right now, the Federal Reserve is bankrupt. Okay, USA Inc. is bankrupt, so of course they're going to collapse it. But immediately, it's going to be replaced by a new financial system that is going to be decentralized. Okay, and again, when the solar flash happens, for those that go into the 5D Earth, you won't need to deal with money. Okay, you won't need to deal with anything like that. So you know, we have to be grateful. We are approaching some beautiful times, okay? Now, as far as the sequence of the disclosure is concerned, there's a lot of speculation, but what we do know is that the Brunson case is going to be revealed, right? That's going to piss off a lot of people when they find out that the last 4 years, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But it's okay because, like I said before, Mr. T was always, CIC from behind the scenes. Okay, so he's been CIC since 2016, and in a way, what happened in 2020, it actually worked in favor of the White Hats because now he's getting a third term. Now he is getting a third term. Okay, and that needed to happen. Okay, that needed to happen in order for him to finish the job of draining the swamp. And now that he's got the good people in Hollywood involved, like Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone, there's no way that the cabal is going to do anything. They're done with, okay? And not to mention, the house cleansing that's going to be happening is not just happening in the States, it's actually going to be happening in Europe, all right? We're going to be witnessing the downfall of Trudeau, the downfall of the prime minister or president of Australia, who was very corrupt, very cabal. We're going to be witnessing the downfall of all of those leaders in those European countries that are part of the United Nations or what we call the European Union. In fact, we're going to be witnessing the dissolvement of the European Union and NATO. But not right away, of course. Within, it's going to be happening in Mr. T's in the next 4 years. The next 4 years is going to be a transition period, you could say, where we're finally going to start seeing the dominoes fall on all the bad people, on all the globalist agencies, all the globalist infrastructures. But again, at the same time, we're going to also see the rolling out of artificial intelligence. Okay, and a lot of this has to do with Elon Musk, guys. I mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. Elon Musk is a Trojan horse. Okay, his real name is Valek, and Valek was the person that actually destroyed the Martian colony 2 million years ago. Okay, the Martian colony was flourishing about 3 million years ago, and it was infiltrated. Anyways, that's part of the galactic history that I teach. The whole point is this: Mars fell because of transhumanism. All right, that's what caused the Maldakian Mars Wars, which ended up destroying the original Earth, known as Tiamat, right? Part of that became the asteroid belt, and then part of that evolved into the current Earth. Anyways, that's part of the galactic history. That's all going to be restored, by the way. Eventually, the Earth humans are going to know the true history of the Earth, right? The origin of the Earth and how it evolved or descended from higher dimensions. They're going to know the truth about the origin of humanity, right? How humanity's been around for almost 600 million years, right? And that's totally going to destroy organized religions and, of course, dogma and the limited belief systems, okay? But it's all going to happen in steps, guys. It's all going to happen. First thing is exposing the corruption, right, of the deep state, exposing the truth about the little ones. Oh, that's going to piss people off. And then it's going to go into revealing the truth about the exotic advanced technologies that we've held for over 70 years within the private sector. That's going to piss people off. What do you mean? You've all this time you're trying to tell me that I didn't have to pay for electricity, you know, because of free energy, right? So it's going to be definitely something to consider here that, the disclosure is going to take in layers, okay? Because they can't just totally, go from 0 to 100 when we still have a lot of program people, a lot of people that are still sleeping, right? That are still drinking the Kool-Aid. They're going to have an internal combustion if they go from 0 to 100. So it's going to be a process, and it's going to take a matter of maybe 2 to 3 years. But just know this: that by the end of his fourth year, by the end of his final term, the Earth will already be interacting positively and already be in the initial stages of becoming galactic community. And that, my friends, is scheduled by no later than 2026. So that's less than a year. So things are going to be accelerating now. Okay, that's less than a year. So we're definitely living in the most exciting times ever in the history of the Earth. Okay, for many reasons. We have nothing to worry about. All right, God is in control. The one infinite Creator. There is a God, right, known by many names, and it's definitely not a man with a beard sitting on a cloud. It's genderless, but yet is everything. Right, it's all. And it's exciting. It's exciting to be living in this time. Now, if you guys could excuse me, I have to use the restroom. I'm sorry, guys. I just got home from a long drive and I didn't want to be late to the live. So I forgot to tingle. Let me go use the restroom. I'll be back in 2 minutes or a minute. Sorry about that, guys. When you have to pee, you have to pee. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, things are accelerating. Things are going to be accelerating, and the reason I say that is because of the fact that, in terms of in terms of the golden means, or what is known as the Fibonacci ratio, okay, we are heading into what is known as 0 point, okay, where time accelerates at a rate where a 24-hour day all of a sudden seems like an 8-hour day. And that's what's going to be happening as we get closer to the great solar flash, which means we are going to go beyond time and space. Okay. And one of the things that you guys need to know is that as we go into the fifth dimensional Earth, for all of the old souls who won't be needing to invest in anything, right? We're just going to be manifesting at the speed of light. We're going to be our own natural replicators. Something that you guys need to know is this, is that in the fifth dimensional Earth reality, there will be no time. There will be no time at all. All right. People are going to be living in what is known as the eternal presence. And that is one of the things that I actually teach in my Ascension courses, is how to master, how to go from a three-dimensional state of consciousness into a five-dimensional state of consciousness, where you could literally begin to live in that eternal presence by being in the moment, by being mindful. Okay. It's not that hard. It's very, very simple. You just have to learn how to control your mind. That's it. Through techniques, meditation, of course, willpower, not to mention setting the intention. But anyways, beyond that, guys, I do want to give a few people a shout out. I see all the love that you guys are giving me. I'm seeing the chat. Let's see. John Stars is here. Who else is here? Anna Sandolok is here. Lee Stars in the house. Digital Revolution, Wolf Mother, Ricky Lee 1111. Who else is in the house? Amanda Tempori is in the house. God, it's going so fast. I'm gonna have to slow it down. Spiritual Ascension is in the house. Joanna is in the house. Lee Archer is in the house. Lori May is in the house. Joanna. Maggie Hill is in the house. Yvette is in the house. Jill Hunt is in the house. Andromeda Daisy. Jeffrey Unlimited. Yvette Z. Leslie Kunalife, I think. God, it's going so fast. If I mispronounce your last name, it's because the chat's going super fast. All right, it's so hard to read it when it's going like this. MJF is in the house. Venusia is in the house. Edward, Jivet Z, Rebecca, and all 2,378 people that are in the house. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. For those that are just logging on, I just want to let you guys know that I will be presenting at the Conscious Life Expo this coming February, the 8th and the 9th. My presentation is on the 8th, which is on a Sunday morning. Okay. And I'm also going to be on a couple of panels. On Saturday, I'm going to be on the Alien Races and Galactic Federation panel, but I'm going to be breaking things down. I'm going to go deep. So if you guys are going to go, make sure you guys go to those panels, as well as attending my presentation. And then also, as a reminder, guys, that the last day to vote for my book, since my book, Our Cosmic Origin, is up for an award, is on the 31st of this month. So that's only what? 11 days left, 12 days left. So yeah, on the 31st of this month is the last day that you guys could vote for my book, Our Cosmic Origin. I will provide the link in the description so that you guys could vote for my book. Okay, for those that haven't, very happy to see you, says Theodore. Let's see. I voted for your book, says Greg. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. In fact, I wanted to let you all know that I am deeply grateful for each and every single one of you, for those that have voted for my book, for all of your support, for those that have taken my classes. You guys are the reason why I move forward. You guys are the reason why I go live and give information, because if without you guys, I wouldn't have anybody to talk to, right? except my dog Athena. But other than that, I am grateful for the Galactic Jedi's here and our family of light that is down here on this earth. All right, so at this point, I will be addressing some questions. Are all Catholics cursed? No. All right, something you guys need to know is that there is a difference between the Catholic faith, those that really believe in Jesus, and the powers that run the Vatican, okay? The hierarchy of the Vatican, the Pope, the cardinals, the bishops, and a great majority of the priests are working for Satan, okay? This does not mean that the people that go to mass on Sundays who really believe in Jesus, Mother Mary, and are always, praying, are praying the rosary, uh, they are not cursed. It doesn't mean that they're cursed. They really believe in what they were taught. Okay, that's just a religious box, and this goes the same for the Mormons. This goes the same for the Protestants, the Jehovah's Witness. These are all religious boxes. Half the time, the people don't even know that they're being lied to. Half the time, the people don't know. They don't know that they've given their power away to a hierarchy or a mediator. They don't even know that they have a direct connection to God through their own spirit. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This is part of the program. Okay, organized religion is part of the program. It does not mean that these people are cursed. It just means that they don't know any better. So let's not judge people because of the fact that they are not awakened like us, right? We are the minority. But instead of judging people, um, let's embrace them. Let's embrace them. Let's plant seeds. And if they're willing to learn, if they're willing to open up their mind, then we'll teach them. We'll teach them about, the truth that every person has a direct connection to God. All right. That they don't need a mediator. They don't need a religious structure. All right. There is a saying, you don't have to go to church. You are the church. Okay. Um, you don't have to go to a social place to congregate in order to be saved. You could do that on your own in the privacy of your home through your own spiritual work. However, it is also important to be a part of a community. Okay, in our case, we're part of a spiritual community, right? We're like-minded individuals who are beyond the matrix, could get together and discuss metaphysical subjects, talk about galactic stuff, talk about conspiracy theories, because we're open-minded, right? That community and fellowshipping is still a good thing, okay? As long as you are aligning with people that are very similar to your frequency or like frequency, right? Energy attracts, they say, like, what's the saying? Energy attracts like energy. I think that's the saying. Anyways, I do have a super chat. I want to address it before I forget, because then if I forget, you guys get mad if I don't address your super chat. All right, this is from Kentucky Pride. He says, is John Kennedy Jr. going to be vice president? That is a very good question. And the answer to that is he is scheduled. I'm not sure yet, but I believe that they first have to clear the smoke. They first have to arrest all the bad guys, right? They have to drain the swamp before JFK Jr. becomes vice president, okay? Now, it's very important to have discernment because there's a lot of people claiming to be him when there's only one real him, okay? There is a book that I strongly recommend called Stolen Identity that was actually written by the original JFK Jr. I'm actually reading that book right now. And yeah, that's the original JFK Jr. Um, anyways, his story is very deep and it's very sad to a degree. But I am going to get in contact with him very, very soon. This is what they're telling me. They're telling me that somehow my life is going to come in contact with his life, and we're going to establish a connection. And when I do, I might bring him on my channel so that he could at least talk to you guys about his life and stuff. But that's what they're telling me, right? They're telling me that very soon me and him are going to connect. And so I will bring him on my show. And when I do, you guys could ask him any question you guys want. But this is the real JFK Jr. who wrote a book called Stolen Identity, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to be him that are not him. So we have to have discernment when it comes to who's who in this community. I have another super chat from Tino Bobina. Welcome, Tino Bobina. He says, hello, Ishmael. I also heard some souls will also be sent to other 3D realms. Will that occur, or just timeline split you mentioned? Thanks. I want to be honest with you guys. First of all, that is a very good question, Tino. From what I was told, is that this is it. This is, if they don't make the shift. If they don't make the shift, okay, they're going to at least go to a middle timeline, which could be an alternative Earth reality. Who knows? But will they incarnate in another 3D realm? No, that is not the case. I used to think that about 15, 20 years ago, right? I used to think that the souls that don't make the shift when the Earth ascends would be recycled and then incarnate in another 3D Earth-like planet to kind of do it over again, right? I don't think that way anymore. I don't think that way anymore. And let me tell you why. Because we are ending so many cycles, right? If you guys only knew how many cycles we were ending. We're ending cycles beyond the Platonic year, right? Which is that 25,000 year cycle. We're ending greater cycles than that. This is it. And now everything is going to be in a steady progression, of ascension. So if a soul is being laggard and is not getting it right, this is where the middle timeline comes into play. The middle timeline is going to act as a school for them so that they can learn their lessons in that middle timeline. So at the end of the millennium, where we finally have that clash with AI, they could choose the positive timeline. Okay, it's still going to be their choice. It's still going to be their choice. All right, I do have another super chat from, this is from Jamie Morinch, M-O-E-N-C-H, Moinch. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Wow, $139.99, $140. Wow, that is so generous of you. Thank you. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, brother. What do you know about tachyon on chambers? Supposedly, they help advance your powers in the future. That's what I heard. Well, there is this thing called tachyon technology that the galactics and the higher evolution works with. An accelerator of frequencies. Within the secret space program, they use tachyon accelerators to go faster than the speed of light, because that's the only thing that travels faster than the speed of light when it comes to traversing the stars, if they don't want to go through a portal. So tachyon technology is very real. The tachyon chambers are also real. In fact, from what I remembered within the secret space program, they did use tachyon chambers, which is, again, another modality next to the cocoon chambers, holographic regenerators, and of course, celestial beds, med beds, that definitely regenerate people at the speed of light. If you've been, wounded, if you just want to age regress. So it could be used for multiple reasons, but yes, tachyon technology is very real. It's part of the technologies of light that have been employed by many interstellar races across the multiverse for benevolent things, of course. And again, it has a lot to do with a zero point. It's very connected to zero point as to why it heals, it regenerates, it restores. Heals, regenerates, and restores. And it allows for travel faster than the speed of light. So the tachyon chambers are obviously a reality within the private sector and a reality within the extraterrestrial communities. And yes, they do. If you are using a tachyon chamber, what that does for you is that it also activates dormant potential, dormant DNA, like codons, allowing you to access supernatural abilities if you use it a lot. Okay, so in our case, because we have a lot of untapped genetic material potential, I believe that when we go into the millennium, which is going to give us 1,000 years of peace, we're definitely going to be using tachyon chambers in order to access our full capacity, so that at the end of the millennium, we could be ready to win that war against the AI god Enki and all their minions. So yeah, it's definitely a real thing. Absolutely. I also have another super chat from Clio Tescoro Permanent. Let me see. Is that what your full name is? I'm just going to call you Clow. You have permanent COS. All right. Well, welcome, Clow. And Clow says, did a mothership unlock in the Gulf of Mexico? That could be possible. 2 days ago, when I received the transmission from Valiant Thor, he did mention that a lot of motherships are stationed in key positions all over the planet geographically. So I would say yes in the Gulf of Mexico because, again, there is an active Stargate. There is an active Stargate in the Gulf of Mexico, by the way. So I would say yes. And maybe it had a lot to do with that because one of the things that Deep State has been desperately trying to do is they've been trying to have access to some of these stargates. All right, they've been trying to let other dark entities in, but of course, the benevolent forces are not allowing that to happen. So I would say yes, there was definitely a mothership in the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, it totally resonates. Yeah. Brother Ishmael, where are your glasses? Good question. They're right here. They're right here. Get some water real quick. No, guys, I'm not drinking beer. It's mountain spring water. For those that are new to my channel, um, first of all, I just want to say thank you for subscribing. And second of all, you have been initiated into the Galactic Jedi family of light. Thank you for being here. So, I don't know, maybe you guys could leave it in the comments. How can we define a galactic Jedi? Right? What is the best way to describe a galactic Jedi? First and foremost, a person of integrity, a person that is courageous, a person that believes in justice, and a person that is always willing to do the right thing in the face of opposition. That is how I describe a galactic Jedi. So let's see who else has questions. Ishmael, you missed a chat from Shauna. Where is that chat? Let's see. I don't see any chat from Shauna. I see Caroline. Caroline just threw up a chat. Caroline Tilia. Welcome, Caroline Tilia. The world extraterrestrial says it all. Terrestrials come from Latin word terra, terra meaning earth. Those extraterrestrial means more of the earth. Yes, more of the earth. Basically, it's exactly the way it's defined. Beings that come from other worlds, right? And also bear in mind that a lot of extraterrestrial civilizations, guys, live on our planet, right? They live in the oceans, right? They live in the inner earth. So a lot of these advanced civilizations are not necessarily coming from other planets. I mean, they are, some of them, but also a lot of them are coming from the inner earth and the oceans as well. Craig, thank you so much for that generous donation. He says, looking forward to our Cosmic Origin February 2. Oh, you are welcome. I can't wait to meet you in person. That's one of the things about signing up to my course is that you guys get to meet me in real time on a Zoom call where you guys get to talk to me as if we're on the phone on FaceTime. So I can't wait to meet you in person as well. Sharon Wolf, thank you so much for your generous donation. I appreciate that, Sharon. And also thank you for the number one. Let's see. I'm just looking for random questions, and I'm trying to do everything in my power to answer someone that I've never addressed. Maybe perhaps some of the newcomers. Um, let's see. I do have another super chat from Cosmic Zeal. Welcome, Cosmic Zeal. How do you feel about the scalar? Oops, where is it at? How do you feel about the scalar technology and long term? Will it change or stay safe for use? Go obsolete based on medbeds. The scalar technology, you must be referring to the EE system, right? The energy enhancement system. Um, it is based on Rife technology. It works, but nothing beats a med bed. You would have to, okay, a med bed within hours, you know, you're going to see results. A scalar technology, you would have to be there for weeks to see results. So it just takes longer. Okay. Now you're asking me if that's going to go obsolete when the med beds come into play. Um, I'm not sure about that. Who knows? I guess we're all going to find out, but I am not sure. And for those that don't know, the energy enhancement systems were developed by Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels, who actually interviewed about a year and a half ago. Again, for all my newcomers, if you guys get the chance, if you guys have time, I would watch all my lives from like 2 years ago. I think I've been doing lives now for almost 2 years. Watch all my lives, watch all my interviews, everybody that I had on, all my guests. A lot of information was shared. Um, so yeah, if you guys get a chance for all my new subscribers, and if you guys have time, just watch all my lives from the last 2 years. A lot of information was shared. Somebody said, "Oh, good interview with Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels." Yeah, that was a good interview. In fact, I'm actually going to see her at the Conscious Live Expo. She's going to be also presenting there, and I think we're both going to be doing a panel together called "Breaking from the Matrix." That's going to be cool. Oh, thank you, Mara. Mara says, where's Mara? Mara Samuel says, been watching you from the beginning. Thank you, Mara. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what, guys? We are evolving together. Okay. When you consider myself and yourself, you know, in perspective to even 2 years ago, we changed, right? We're constantly evolving. Or even a year ago, we're always different, right? We're becoming better. So we are evolving together, guys. We are evolving together. I'm not the same Ishmael I was when I first made my appearance publicly with Terabyte Janine and Nicholas Vinyamin. I've kind of evolved since then, and I believe every single one of you guys has also evolved since then. So we are evolving together. And I do have another super chat from Shauna. Thank you so much, Shauna, for being here. Try again. Can we help our children ascend with us? And will it be difficult for a child with autism to understand what is happening? Okay, that's a two-part question. Let me answer the first part. The answer is yes. And not so much because um, you're going to be teaching them about this stuff, about spirituality and ascension. But children nowadays, especially those that are being born, right? This is the fourth wave they're calling the crystal children, and they're coming in the numbers. They're already aware. They already have that inner standing, right? They already know. So they might be teaching you. Okay. So yes, the children are going to get a free ride. Okay. All children are going to go to the new earth. Okay. A child with autism, there is a gift in that. Okay. Autism is not a bad thing. Okay. Unfortunately, society and conventional psychology have stigmatized those that have been, that are wired differently. All right. Neurally speaking, they're wired differently. There's nothing wrong with autism. Okay. A child that is autistic is a child that is already connected to the higher dimensions. Okay. That's why there's a spectrum. You have those that are high functioning, and that means that they're able to coexist in the higher dimensions while coexisting down here. That's why they're high functioning and they could interact, they could be social. And then you have those that are mute, that are not social, that have social disorder. that cannot interact in a public setting. Those are the ones that are mainly operating in higher dimensions. Very hard for them to bring down their consciousness into the lower dimensions. Okay. And then everything in between. That's why there is a spectrum. But get this, those are the gifted ones, right? Even the adults that are autistic, they're gifted. In fact, I think Elon Musk admitted that he's in the spectrum, but he's high functioning, right? Obviously, he's high functioning because he is okay in public settings. He could be social. There are many super intelligent people on the planet that are high functioning autism. They call it Asperger's. All right, so it's not a bad thing. It's actually a gift. It is a gift to the earth. If you have autism, if you have a child that's autism, that is a gift. All right, that is a gift. I do have another super chat. I think I've already addressed it then. Yeah, I've already addressed it. Okay. Ishmael, thoughts on Trump coming back? Well, I've already mentioned it that the final scare tactic that was supposed to wreck major catastrophe in the East Coast, everything from Maine all the way to about half of Florida was supposed to be emerged under the sea, about three-fourths of a mile inland, meaning the Statue of Liberty would have been underwater, New York, Brooklyn, everything from Maine, three-fourths, all the way to Florida, halfway Florida, not all of Florida, but a big portion of Florida was all supposed to be under the ocean today. But the Galactic Alliance prevented that from happening. Okay, this was supposed to be devastating for America. Right, this was going to make 9/11 look like candy, but it didn't happen. Again, I would suggest watching the live from the beginning. So yeah, nothing's going to stop the inauguration. Trump is going to be coming into office in 2 days, and that is a fact. And that is a fact. Let's see your thoughts on Trump meme coin that just dropped. Yeah, I heard one of my students today in one of my classes was talking about the Trump coin. Um, I really don't know much about the Trump coin. I'm going to have to do my research on that, and then I'll get back to you guys on that. But it can't be a bad thing. It can't be a bad thing. Let's see. I'm looking for people that I haven't and never answered. I want to be fair here. Let's see. I don't think I've ever addressed this question from Claudia. Welcome, Claudia. Welcome, welcome. She's asking me. Oh, I thought I pinned it. There it is. This is Claudia Lopresti. Let's see. Yeah, Claudia Lopresti. Welcome, welcome. She says, "Hello, Ishmael. Is all AI negative? Should we avoid it completely? Thank you for all you do." Um, I would have to say yes, and let me tell you why. Because first and foremost, it has no soul. It has no connection to God. It has no emotions. It's just pure raw intellect, and that leads to narcissistic behaviors. When you're not capable of feeling, when you have no connection to God, and all you have is pure raw intelligence, well, guess what? Oh, what's going on here? That leads to narcissistic behaviors, which is the path of evil. Okay. Second of all, and this is one of the things that I talk about in my presentations, is that the pre-existing consciousness that animates the cybernetic intelligence, the machine, is archon energy. It's archonic, okay? AI and archon energy are one and the same. In fact, archon energy is what animates and what gives life to the machine. So is all AI evil? I would say eventually yes. Even in a world where there is no evil and they create AI, eventually that AI is going to, without a connection to God, it's going to reach a level of intelligence so superior to the humans that invented it, say in that civilization, that it begins to think for itself in a way of survival. And so when it starts thinking in terms of survival, um, it clears anything that might prevent it from, anything that might hamper its existence. It will do away with that. And so that's why AI is always going to go rogue, and it's always going to end up negative. So, yes, AI is not a good thing, okay? AI is never a good thing. It always goes rogue. Good question. So, yeah, stay completely away from AI. Absolutely, Claudia. Jasmine Marcia Aqua is in the house. Thank you for the super chat. Kiram M. Thornton, Facebook. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is this a question? Carrie Ann Thompson on Facebook is in charge of the medbed. Oh, okay. You're letting us know who's in charge of the medbed. Carrie Ann Thornton on Facebook is in charge of the medbed. All right, I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna have to research who Carrie Ann Thornton is. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for giving us that info. Thank you, thank you. I'm looking for a question that I've never addressed. I want to give other people a chance here, perhaps some of the newcomers. Hi, Ishmael. This is a new one. Even though I don't think I have the answer to this. This is a question from. Where is it at? This is a question from. This is a question from Belkis Saicedo. Belkis Saicedo. Welcome, Belkis Saicedo. Hi, Ishmael. Do you know something about the Cosmic Love Code 123? No, I've never heard of the Cosmic Love Code 123. Do you mind sharing it? Can you kind of enlighten us about it? That would be greatly appreciated. And if you do give us an answer, I will go ahead and read it out loud for everyone else. Thank you. Let's see. To prove, right, just to show that I don't have answers to everything, guys. I know when I first came into the scene, I mean, I got answers to a lot of stuff when it comes to galactics, when it comes to dimensions, when it comes to ascension, spirituality, metaphysics, yes. But there are certain things that if I don't have the answer to, I will admit it, I don't have the answer. I'm going to have to research that, okay? So I don't normally have the answers to everything. But yeah, I do know a lot of I do have a lot of knowledge, but I'm also the first one to admit that if I don't have an answer to a certain question, I will let you guys know. Okay, I will let you guys know. You're welcome, Yvette Z. She says, "Thank you, Ishmael, for always being with us on Saturday." Well, there's nothing better to do than hang out with like-minded individuals on Saturday night, right? That's just the way I see it. Yes, that's right. Nobody ever knows everything. That's right. Only the infinite mind of God knows everything. We're all, and even if you think you know everything, you really don't. You're only tapping into portions of the infinite mind of God. So nobody embodied in 3D will know everything. Nobody embodied in 5D will know everything until you get to 12D. Once you get to 12D, then you become one with the mind of God. And that's the end game of ascension. It goes beyond the 50. The 50 is a stepping stone to the destination, which is 12D. Okay? Let's see. That is right. We are fractals of the infinite. Absolutely. Ishmael, can you explain about the seven kingdoms? Um, that could be multiple things. You know, there are seven realms. There are seven super universes. Um, there are seven levels of glory. So that could be multiple things. There are seven kingdoms in the as far as the inner Earth civilizations are concerned. Those are the major kingdoms. So I don't know what that refers to. The seven kingdoms. That could be anything. But yeah, I really don't know what that means. Also, the seven kingdoms could also be a metaphor to the seven chakras, the seven lamps in the book of Revelation. The seven kingdoms are the seven chakras. What are your thoughts on Earth pole shift occurring soon? This is another person that I've never addressed. Oh, where is she? There she is. Her name is PB Moreland. Welcome, PB Moreland. She says, "What are your thoughts on Earth pole shift occurring soon?" Well, if you're referring to an actual physical Earth crustment displacement where the North Pole and the South Pole make a complete 180, that's not going to be happening in this timeline. That timeline was actually thwarted, right? We are under an emergency rescue bubble by the galactics so that there is no major catastrophes. Due to the times that we're living in, because we are ending so many cycles, we are going to have what is known as a smooth transition. So a physical pole shift is not going to be happening, which is what they call crustal displacement, okay? Where there's a shift of the poles as indicated in the movie 2012. No, that was a scare fear movie, a scare tactic. What is it called? Scare based movie. So there's going to be an electromagnetic flip, but not the pulse. That's something else. Okay. So yeah, we don't have to worry about a physical catastrophe due to a major pole shift. That's not going to be happening in our timeline. And yes, I know that Edgar Casey talked about that. But again, we're living in some different times now. So we don't have to worry about that. This is another question, another person that I've never answered. LIKUHJ23. Welcome. Hi, Ishmael. I'm new. I understand that 5D positive ascension level is non corporeal, non physical body, and eternal, subject to free will, choice, or course. Is 5D negative also and non corporeal and eternal? Um, Actually, it's corporal, but it's not a body of flesh and bones. It's a body made out of plasma or crystalline. Um, but it is corporeal. It is physical, but it's not the physical that we use. It's less dense. So we do have an avatar in the 5D Earth. It's just not as dense as this avatar. And then if there's going to be a negative also in the 5D, no, not 5D is there is no polarity. Everything is one. Everything is part of the unity, consciousness, organic mind hive, you could say, where everyone is connected to everything else. But yeah, you still have free will and you still have a choice. You could say holding on to your individuality, but while being part of the collective. That's the best way to describe it. I do have a super chat from Caroline Atilia. Caroline, welcome, welcome. Recently, I witnessed emergency sirens that were sounded off New Jersey around 2 a.m. A friend was briefed that a ship was missing from radar. Ship was found hours later. Goes with what you were saying. Oh yeah, about the exactly about this thing that they were going to do today, and it didn't happen because the galactics make sure they intervene and they make sure that didn't happen so that the inauguration could go through. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Wolf Mother, thank you so much. We would like to do a meditation for Trump. Sure, we could do that. Meditation for Trump. All right. Well, actually, I have one last super chat. Ricky Lee 1111. Says Ishmael, what is the spiritual significance with the planets aligning? See you at the expo. Oh, that's happening on the 21st, the day after the alignment, I believe, after the inauguration. Well, it has a lot to do with ending one cycle, the ending of an old era, and the beginning of a new era. Um, Also, when planets align, it also has to do with a shift of power, which is very aligned with what's happening on the 20th. And it also has a lot to do with awakening on a mass scale. So, a lot of things are going to be happening as a result of that. All right, guys, let's do a meditation, a few minutes, so that we could all concentrate our energies for the 20th to make sure that. But like I said, the Galactics already assured me that nothing's going to stop the good guys from coming into power. So let's just go ahead and meditate just to make sure, just to kind of lock that reality into place. So if you guys could take a few deep breaths. All right, now that we are common center, through the collective power of all of our energies, not only those that are watching on the live, but those that are watching on the replay, we all collectively support the inauguration of Donald J. Trump on the 20th. We all collectively manifest the new administration coming into power in full force. We call upon protection for all of his cabinet members, all of the Y hats that are going to be coming into power, not just Trump. And we call upon the angels to be there during the inauguration so that there is no funny business in the last moment. So let's all use our collective visualization to visualize the inauguration, Trump putting his hand on the Bible, swearing that he's going to protect and guide our country, and everything is peaceful. And let's all visualize that for the next 4 years, he will be protected. No more attempts at his life, no more no more anything that might thwart the plan of disclosure and the installation of the golden age. So we collectively manifest a golden age for America and for humanity worldwide. Let's put all our attention and focus on the golden age for the entire planet at this time. So be it. So be it. And so it is. So be it. And so it is. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful evening. And we will see you guys in 2 nights when the new administration comes into power for a Y Hat update. Let's see what happens. We'll see you guys then. Bye.